Hi everyone, this is Ramanuj from LawSikho. Thank you for joining. Maybe some of you are regular attendees and some of you may have joined today for the first time. Why don't you introduce yourselves in the chat quickly? Who's with me today? Hi Sonay. Who all are logging in today? Where are you logging in from? Hi Swapnil. Nice to see you again. Regular attendee, absolutely. What about the rest of you? So if you're attending today for the first time, good evening Rajshri. If you're attending today for the first time, please say so. Write 0 if you're attending for the first time. If you've attended before, then write the number of times you have attended. If you have attended more than 10 times, write 10 plus or 15 plus or whatever, 5 plus, whatever you remember, right? That will be super. 0 to 1. No. All right. Good to have all of you with me today. 20 plus. Shreya Majumdar, how are you? All right. Great. Hi, Caesar Samuel Paul. That's a very royal name. Hi, Sakshi. Hi, Deepika. Good to have you all. So I'm Ramanuj Mukherjee from LawSikho, if you don't know me. And I'm going to talk about something very interesting and which is about disadvantages of working in a corporate law firm and how to overcome these disadvantages, right? You might have heard some horror stories about people working in law firms. How many of you, is there anyone here who actually work in a corporate law firm or have worked in a law firm before and don't anymore, or have heard something about corporate law firms? Anyone there? Swapnil, Shreya, okay, Grish, okay. Niharika working in a corporate law firm, Suhashini, okay. Super. So, what are the difficult parts about working in a corporate law firm? What would you say? If I ask you, what are the different things? What are the difficult things about working at a corporate law firm? What would you say? Previously worked at Desai and Dewanji for 3 years. CYA. Somebody says a difficult thing is CYA. Okay. That's funny, Pranav. But trust me, there are much worse and much more difficult things. All right. So do share in the chat your thoughts. I'm sure so many of you have attended law firms, and it would be so nice to have your thoughts. Like Swapnil just said, this environment is super busy and gets to your mental health. Shivesh is asking what is CYA stands for, right? Shivesh, go Google this, CYA. What is it? Okay. CYA, Google it. You will like it. Somebody is answering it also. Okay. All right. Feeling stupid sometimes if you're working in a law firm, very much, right? People in law firm love to make you feel stupid. All right. So why don't I pull up my presentation? They want you to be perfect, feeling not good enough. Even if you're an intern, they expect you to know everything. Some people shout while our work gets screwed up whenever, in most of the law firm. Okay. People shout in law firms. Okay. Interesting. So I was just speaking to, one lawyer who's basically, he started a law firm at a very young age. Okay. And he was just, because he saw that I'm doing this webinar, he was telling me some things, and that's true. Like, we really need a new model of law firms, people who will think differently, who will realize that there's a lot of toxicity in law firm culture, and how to make better law firms in the future. And I told him that I hope there will be smarter law firms like him who will someday solve this problem and truly create law firms which will be very good to work in. Yeah. But that is not the case today. So until such a utopia happens, let us see what are the problems that are there. In no way we want to normalize all the problems and all the toxicity that may be there in some law firms, but we also want to give you a map, you can say, or a kind of guidance on how to navigate all the problems and difficulties and toxic culture in a law firm, so that you can do well and you can succeed. That is the goal, right? So thank you everyone for joining, and I really appreciate you taking out time today at 9 o'clock, right? And I promise you, you'll get value for the time that you're going to give me, and you're going to enjoy this, okay? And you're going to really benefit 10x for the time that you'll be spending here, right? So I want to first start with the story, the day I felt helpless and wanted to run away from my life. Okay, so actually, it was probably not even one single day. When I look back, there is one image that flashes in my mind. But most probably, it would be a bunch of different days when the same thing happened kind of again and again to me. Okay, so what happened was, imagine that I am, I wrote about this on LinkedIn. Some of you may have seen it. I am sitting in a small conference room. It's a meeting room, not even a conference room. Like, there are some small rooms in that law firm. I don't want to take any names because it's truly actually not about one law firm, right? It happened in many law firms. It happens in almost all large law firms, especially. I'm sitting in this small cubicle kind of meeting room, and there are two more associates, one senior associate and one junior associate who's more older than me, like a A2. I am A0. So in law firms, you have this names, right? A0 is somebody who has zero experience, and A1 is somebody who has 1 year of experience, and somebody who has 2 years of experience will be called A2, right? A2, A3, and so on. And so in my case, it was, I think, an A2 and a senior associate was sitting there in front of me, and we were going, this meeting was happening because of my mistake. Okay. The mistake is that I forgot to get certain clarifications, and I did not get the right documents from a target company during a due diligence. So an emergency meeting had to be set with the target company, and they were not amused. And my senior associate was handling the situation. There were a bunch of people, they were figuring out how to deal with it. And I was so petrified because they had given me one round of bashing, and I was expecting more later on. And I was really scared, not scared that what will happen to me and stuff like that. I was just, there was somewhere I was feeling like my confidence is getting crushed. I don't have, like, am I not good enough? Have I chosen the wrong profession? I was questioning myself, which is the worst thing, as a human being, when you start questioning your own abilities, which I never did because I was always a very confident person. I was topping in classes since I was in high school, and I was doing well academically. And not only academically, in whatever, I'm a winner. So I go and I do really well everywhere. So I was feeling horrible, like, who am I? I can't even recognize myself like that, right? So those of you who are here, can you recognize this feeling? Have you ever felt like this while working in a law firm, right? And and this was just one representative situation. It happened so many times, and it was common that people will shout at you and stuff like that. And like somebody is mentioning the anxiety, right? Even as an intern, I never had any difficulty when I was interning. I had really easy internships. But when I left the firm, even many 6 months, 7 months later, I would wake up in cold sweat from a nightmare in the morning or in that night, thinking I will see a nightmare that I've gone back to the firm and I have made a big blunder again. this kind of trauma you have, sometimes. And imagine like waking up from nightmares months after you have left the job and you are doing a startup. Even in that circumstance, you having that kind of impact. Okay. So yeah, and there are exodus of junior lawyers from corporate law firms. Have you noticed like these big law firms especially hire so many juniors in the, who have zero experience, and then so many are fired. Even not only at that level, even at a higher level, so many people are hired and fired very quickly within few months, or those people leave themselves because they cannot deal with the pressure, they cannot deal with the environment, they just break down and leave, right? So have you noticed that? Anyone? Can any comments from anyone who have noticed this ever? Anyone from NLU? Why I went to NLU? Just somebody's asking. Okay. Anyone from NLU? Somebody's asking. Yeah. So you guys have experienced this, right? And just to give you a number. So when I joined I graduated in 2011, and I know things haven't changed much since then. Okay. So when I from my batch in NUJS, 31 people got into the top 5-6 law firms, right? 31 people got in the top 5-6 law firms. And by the end of the year, after joining, after 1 year, when I left, I was the 20th person out of those 31 people to leave their jobs. Okay. Or I don't know, it's very hard. Either somebody left their job or they got fired. It's hard to tell. But I was the 20th person. I always knew. I had even I was building a startup in the background, and I knew that I'm going to I have a shelf life, right? After that, I'm going to go and do my own thing. But even before joining, I knew that I'm going to do my startup eventually. I just want to spend some time in a law firm, experience it, see how it works, and then go build my own thing. I pleaders, right? So background work was already going on. But for other people, it was a shocker that such people who have always aspired to work in law firm, they were over the moon about getting a job into a big law firm, they all leaving. It was crazy, right? And some of them, and they are not stupid people, they're extremely smart people who have later on become UPS, they have cracked UPSC, become very successful officers in the government, people who have built their own law firms, people who have become very successful in counsel practice, people who have become very successful in-house counsels, working abroad, okay, working in UK, working in Middle East, right? Very successful people. So they are not like stupid people, or they are not good enough. It's not like that. They were all high achievers throughout college, and then they went to law firms, and then they left within one of them, I remember, became an English teacher for a while, and then she cracked UPSC, one of the toppers from my batch. Okay. On the other hand, there were plenty of other people who have stayed back. Out of that 32, I think 5-6 people stayed back in law firms, and they have stayed back in law firms ever since and have done really well, right? Some of them become partners also, okay? In 𝗼𝗲, in AZB, there are partners, my batchmates, who they joined that firm, stayed in that firm through and through, and not only survive. Now, there can be many explanations that they have good seniors, their seniors was exceptionally well, or they had the right temperament, like somebody is saying, okay, or maybe they are just survivors. You don't know. They have a lot of patience. We don't know like what. That's why it is hard to tell exactly what it is, right? And I am going to explain to you, I'm trying to give to you a manual, a kind of map, and a kind of how to guide as to how to survive the law firm environment. And at least if nothing else, it will make it easier for you. So that's the promise of today's session, right? Okay. So when I found a batchmate, I remember the day, like when I found a batchmate who was like a pretty good, smart guy. And I was going back from office, and for some reason, I was walking in front of the Phoenix Mall because I meant to meet another friend or something, maybe had a drink at somewhere. I don't remember exactly. Then I'm going out of the mall, and then I found my friend sitting on the steps of Phoenix Mall, uncontrollably crying. And I went and sat down next to him and I said, I won't take names, obviously, whatever. What happened to you? Like, what happened? And then I realized he's completely drunk. And he basically told me that he got fired that day. His boss just said, put in your papers and leave. Okay. And he did. And he didn't know where to go. And he was sitting there and crying. By the way, later on, today, he's a very, very successful lawyer. And, he went to work for some investment banks after that, right? And he did very well. Like, works in a foreign investment bank today. And I'm not sure exactly what he's doing. Like, last I spoke to him, he was head of legal in that investment bank, right? So by no means he was a slacker or anything. Like, very hardworking guy, very smart, very sharp, was very dedicated in college. And his boss was one of the most well-known capital markets lawyer in the country. Okay. And this was happening to him. So, and you could see this happening not only in other firms, but in your own firm also. And at the same time, we saw, one of my friend who was working in Khaitan upstairs, she like raked up so much, credit card debt that she wanted to quit, but she could not quit. And things were not going well for her also. She was not happy and she wanted to leave her job, but she was not able to leave because she has accumulated so much credit card debt. And why this would happen? Because she was feeling unhappy in the office, so she'll get out and she'll go for retail therapy and spend a lot of money on really expensive bags and clothes and shoes. And then anyway, we are getting paid quite a bit of money. I don't understand how she was, spending double of that amount, but it is very much possible, if you go to a mall and start buying stuff. This kind of things were happening. There are other people who were drinking too much or other kind of substance abuses, right? A lot of law firms have this culture of, even you can see, that even partners are into various kinds of drugs and stuff like that. And they're, people share with each other also, and pretty common knowledge. And this is very normalized, like binge drinking, binge eating, and this culture of, working very hard and partying harder. Partying harder basically means in the weekend you drink out of your mind if you are not working on a deal. Okay. So these kind of things, and it's very unhealthy. And I'm going to talk about some of these, right? So it was shocking to find my batchmate, and it shook me from inside, like what is going on? Like, this guy is, what's going on, right? Like that. So why, you will be at a disadvantage if you get a corporate law firm job. Okay. And I'm not saying that you will not be at a disadvantage if you get a litigation job or whatever, but especially at a corporate law firm job in a big law firm, it's like a really, really demanding environment, right? And they are going to be like, okay, you swim or sink, we don't care. This is the work, you have to do it. If you can do it, do it. Otherwise, get out. There are 100 people outside waiting for this job, right? So it's highly demanding, and there is not much, it's important to understand that there is a huge demand on you. At the same time, you are not prepared to deliver, right? So when you are graduating out of college and joining a law firm, maybe even if you have been a topper in your class, even if you know all the laws that you have read by heart, still the work you're doing is completely different. There is no connection, right? And I'm going to describe this. What are the disadvantages? Let's take one thing at a time, right? Oh, I have mentioned my former employer. It doesn't matter. It was 10 years before. So I used to actually wake up with nightmares for months, right? Next 6 months, like several times. It was traumatic for me. Okay, so. And I now, on hindsight, I do not blame the firm at all, because I realize this is systemic. This is where this is happening everywhere. And a lot of it is my fault, honestly speaking. It's like, there's no point blaming only the system. It was my fault that I did not prepare myself, right? So I just want to explore this with you today. why dreams become nightmares, right? Why do our dreams become nightmares when you join such places? You know, when you looked up to such farms and you wanted to work there, and why does it become nightmare like this, right? So you will probably take 10 times more. Okay, yeah, this is a very good point Ria is making here, that the culture is also sort of internalized in law school itself. Work hard and party harder. This is there. The word, this phrase is there. But if you think you work hard in law school, then think again. Okay, then you have no idea of what is work hard. If you think work hard, you have seen work hard in law school. No matter what you have done in law school, you don't know what is work hard until you actually start working in the law firm. Okay, so first of all, if something can be done in 1 hour, you might be taking 10 hours to do it. You know, why do you take 10 hours to do something that might take 1 hour with an experienced hand? Okay, can anybody guess this? What contributes to this? I am saying that, you know, what should be done in 1 hour, you will take 10 hours to do it. Okay, why will you take 10 hours? Can anybody think? Okay, very good. So 𝗂𝗏𝗍 Shukla, from his experience, having worked at a law firm, saying Parkinson, unclear instruction, no one guides. Very good, Swapnil. But yeah, no credits because you've already been there in that situation. Basundara is saying Parkinson's law. Parkinson's law doesn't apply in law firms. They anyway will give you short deadlines. Okay, but there is a different problem. I'll explain to you later with the deadline. Nikhil Barua, lack of experience, lack of skill, lack of guidance, procrastinating, Anjali is saying. Rashi Jha, no guidance. So I'm getting a lot of, Swapnil is a girl. Okay, all right. Sorry, like in Bengali, if someone's name is Swapnil, then they are a guy. So I am confused. I apologize. Varnika, lack of credit, no practical knowledge, no clear directions. They underestimate us, Rashi is saying. It's also because being out of law school, you know nothing and no one tells you what to do. This is very true, Mehak. Some people are just not able to work under pressure, Suhasini. So there's a tremendous pressure which itself might be slowing you down. Lack of skill, Ishanvi is saying. You never know how to properly work on it, Shreya. Reporting to 2 or more bosses. Yes, imagine this has happened to me, like 3 bosses giving 3 different tasks and everyone wants it immediately, right? Practical experience, fear of not being able to deliver proper work. Fear is actually a huge issue. So yeah, so let's see the reasons, right? Number 1, so you guys are right. You guys are giving all the right answers. So let me try saying it in a more organized way. You'll not have proper and complete instructions, okay? Because a lot of time your seniors are also not trained so much in giving instructions, right? It's not like they have been trained. They're also trying to learn on the fly. Sometimes they'll give not proper instructions, not complete instructions. Also because they are highly overworked. They are working too much. They have no free time. They don't have any time for self-improvement. So what do you think they are going to do, right? And what you are experiencing after joining, they have been experiencing it for 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years. So imagine their state of mind. They survived, but their state of mind is not that great. So, you'll not have proper and complete instructions, but they will anyway shout at you later when you are not able to deliver. And sometimes while taking instructions, you are not smart enough to ask the right questions so that you get the right instructions, right? Maybe if you asked a few more questions, you would have got the right instructions, but you don't get it, right? Then you do not know what is going on as you lack perspective, right? I remember when I'm doing my first due diligence, I don't know, boss, what am I supposed to do? Due diligence, I have to look at documents, I have to review them, I have to find if there is any problem. I understand all this, but nobody explained to me what is the deal structure, what is the deal that is happening, okay, and how the deal structure impacts the due diligence, how the findings of the due diligence will later on be used in a shareholder agreement, okay, how the faults we are finding would be later used to draft representation and warranties. All this was not clear, but they expect me to do a good job, right? and you do not know, and this will happen, like nobody will tell you that you have to file an 𝗃cie𝗿𝗃𝗃 form after the deal is closed. Okay. But if you forget, then they'll blame you and they say, what? Which law college did you graduate from? You don't know that you have done a FDI transaction. Now you have to do a 𝗃cie𝗿𝗃𝗃 form. Are you an idiot? And you will feel like, yeah, am I an idiot? Why? I'm a lawyer. I'm supposed to know, right? You're a lawyer. You have a law degree. You're supposed to be able to practice. Why don't you know you have to do a compliance, right? So no-brainer. For them, there it is no-brainer. And they'll say, why did you forget? People get fired for this, right? But the first thing, nobody told them how to do it, what to do it. It's not like they have a checklist they can follow. The law firm should have given them a checklist that please follow this checklist, right? So this is happening all the time, and you don't know what you are supposed to do. You lack perspective. You don't know what the clients want. You don't know what is the industry like. I mean, do you know the difference between a VC and when the VC wants an exit, and how they have limited partners and how they raise money, how this is different from a private equity fund? What is the difference? You don't know all these things, but you have graduated from a law college and you have got a job with a top law firm. You are supposed to know. Why is it that you don't know? It's your fault, right? This is how your seniors might treat you. Okay. So the big picture is missing even when you know something. Okay. Even if you know some of the stuff that, okay, you have to do this. Okay. Somebody tells you, you do this, and you are narrowly with the blinkers, you are doing that. You don't have the big picture of what you are trying to do. And this, because of this also, you will make many mistakes, right? You do not know commercials. A lot of times, you don't understand the commercial deal between the parties. How are you going to answer that, right? Like, how are you going to deal with it? Like, if you don't understand the commercials, how will you incorporate, how will you take the right actions as a lawyer? But your seniors know the commercials, and they might not feel it necessary, or they may not even have the time to explain to you what are the commercials of the deal. Nobody explained to me any commercials, like at least for the first 1 year, right? 6-7 months. You do not know the law and you are trying to learn on the fly, right? So it's not like you know all the law that applies. You're trying to learn the law and then do it, right? And what if you miss some important law? Sometimes your seniors will tell you, okay, look at this law and that law. And then they may have mentioned something and you may forget, right? It happens all the time. You don't know what the client wants in the first place. Okay, like client said something, it did not even register. Happens a lot because, I see so many people. One of my, people who was joined the law firm with me, okay, her senior asked her, okay, something about an NBFC. Go and find this about NBFC. So she is coming and Googling first, what is NBFC? Because she has never heard this term, NBFC, right? Now, NBFC is very simple. It's a non-banking finance corporation. But nobody, if you read some on your own about financial topics, you might have read what is an NBFC. But otherwise, how will you know what is an NBFC? You have not read it in law college, right? Nobody taught you in law school. So you don't know. But people told you as if you know about NBFCs, and you don't know, and you don't want to tell your senior that what is NBFC. If you say it, that can be another problem. You don't know what is NBFC. What is wrong with you? You're working in a corporate law firm in the banking team. You don't know what is NBFC. It's actually preposterous like that, right? Because NBFCs are your clients all the time. You need to know what is NBFC, right? If you don't know, it can be a problem. Then you do not know what regulations, circulars, and rules exist. Forget to knowing the law, actually reading it and knowing it. You don't even know what regulations, circulars, and rules exist and where to find them. Okay. So Swapnil is saying, I felt foolish for not knowing trust law. But yeah, where do you study trust law in law college? Why will you know it, right? 𝗂𝗃𝗃𝗃 is saying, a lot of times law firms just don't have the manpower to actually carry these big mergers or acquisitions or other deals, and the work gets unequally distributed, and most of the burden eventually falls to the associates. Actually, very true. Okay, something like this once happened to me, and it happens, right? And it's crazy, right? And they'll say, you don't even know this. That's true. IUC. They'll say, you don't even know this. Which law school are you from? like that, and you will feel like, oh my God, not only I am being blamed, my law school is also ruining the reputation of my college also for this. Okay, so your senior does not review your work until the last moment, as they are super busy and not their fault, right? So imagine that somebody told you that draft this memo. Okay, does any law school prepare students this way? Nobody does. Nobody does. No law school, not National Law School Bangalore, not NUJS. No. Okay. In NUJS, I had got one credit course where I did not learn all this, but got some ideas about M&A deals from Professor N.L. Mitra. That was the only class, and it's because N.L. Mitra is also a law firm partner and founder of NLU Jodhpur, the second vice chancellor of NLS Bangalore. He's a different kind of guy. He's the founder of the law school at IIT Kharagpur. He was to teach like this. Murali Neelakantan came to NUJS, and I heard he took some sessions like this, but these are rare. Nobody teaches. LawSikho teaches. We have courses where we teach these things, okay? And that's what we teach. Law schools don't have the capacity to teach this. Your senior does not review your work until the last moment. And you can imagine. So I'll give you an example, right? So imagine that there is a small task, okay? Let's say somebody says there is a question that have come from a client, basic research. And the senior said that, okay, you research this and write this, okay? Very simple. And you go and research and write the answers. You send it to your senior by email. Yeah, you have done it in 2 hours, 3 hours, you have done it and you have sent it to your senior, and the thing has to go out after a week. Okay. And what happens is that there is a, the senior is busy with some other work. The senior wouldn't check your work now. You sent it in 3 hours, but the deadline is when? Deadline, let's say, is tomorrow, say day after morning, not even tomorrow, day after tomorrow morning. Okay. What will they do? They will be busy with whatever they are doing. The day it has, so next day it has to be sent out in the morning. So at in the evening, they'll be like, okay, before going home, let me check what you have done. Okay. They'll open it. Okay. And they will say, then they'll say, oh my God, what is the formatting of this document? And your research is wrong. And this and that. And then the senior associate will say, okay, now you can't go home. And I also can't go home. So you'll sit now and finish this. So next 3 hours, you're staying back in the office. Okay. Maybe the senior associate opened this at 9 o'clock or 11 o'clock at night. And then you are sitting there till 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, fixing the document. The senior associate is fixing, and you are sitting next to him and watching, trying to learn, but you are in no mindset to learn. And you are thinking that I gave this work to you bloody yesterday, and you had so many hours. Why didn't you take a look at it for 10 minutes and just told me what is wrong with it? I had enough time. I would have fixed it yesterday. I would have fixed it today. Okay. But they will wait till the last moment, and then their evening is not only yours ruined, theirs ruined also. And it is not always their fault. Sometimes they are truly so busy. They are so busy that they didn't have time to open this and see this. And there is another thing, there is a lot of law firms, there is a culture of working late. Okay. They will chill since morning till 4 o'clock and then start working and then work till 3 o'clock in the morning. The whole team works like this. Imagine. Okay. And you are, let's say, a morning person. Okay. You come in the morning and you're trying to do the work in the morning, but everybody works at night only. What can you do? You have to adjust with them. And that's also very unhealthy, right? If you're not sleeping night after night, what do you do? Okay. Someone is asking, what are they busy with? Most of them are busy with client delivery, drafting, research, writing, collaborating with clients, replying to clients all the time, right? They have pressure from partners of law firms, correct? So this is happening all the time. As you are scolded a few times, your confidence is crushed and you take 10 times more time to do the same simple things, as you are super scared of making a mistake. Now, see, the thing about making a mistake is that you are going to make certain amount of mistake no matter what. Okay. You are doing it for the first time, boss. How can you not make mistake? Okay. You will make mistake. It's natural. if I give you, I mean, I'll tell you something. I was recently learning how to drive a car, right? And I had never learned how to drive a car before, but I went to learn how to drive. Okay, and I have 8 classes from this driving school, and it's like my teacher knows, the guide, whoever is instructor, driving instructor, he already knows what mistakes I'll make, where I will press the accelerator too hard, I will press the brake wrong. Okay, I will forget to press the clutch while changing gear. I will forget to change the right gear, all of that. And he knows it. And he's bloody prepared for me to make the mistake, so that he'll patiently correct me. And within only 8, like on the first day, I was doing everything wrong. On the 8th day, I was smooth, doing everything right. Why? Because I got that patient correction, and there was no fear, there was no anxiety, there was no, oh my God, what's going to happen to me, right? And it's like calmly it got done. And I remember when I was training, okay, there was one girl, one young girl, like, what my instructor will do is that he will make me drive to the house of the next client. Then the next client will drive me to my house. I will sit at the back and she'll drive it to my house. So the client, his next client was this very young girl, okay, maybe 15 years old, 16 years old, 14 years, not sure. So her mother would sit behind her, okay. And I don't have my mother sitting behind me. It's only the instructor guiding me, no problem. In this case, every time the mother will shriek and shout from behind her, the instructor is showing what to do. There is no need for the mother from behind to panic, okay. But the mother sitting behind will be like, oh my God, brake. Oh my God, what's going on? You're going to hit the car. Why are you like this? Blah, blah, blah. So much criticism. And the instructor will fold his hand and say, please don't do this. She will lose her confidence. She'll not be able to drive. Okay, please, you just keep quiet. And in fact, the next time he said that, you please don't come. If you're afraid for your daughter, she's afraid that her daughter is not safe. So next time, send your her brother, almost the same age, accompanies her. Okay. But imagine if you are getting scolded all the time, people are screaming at you, your confidence is gone, right? How the hell are you going to do anything, right? How are you going to do? So the mistake, so the driver knows that you are going to make a certain amount of mistakes, right? And you make the mistake, he'll correct you and done, right? You correct all the mistakes and it'll be over very soon, correct? But if you don't make the mistake and you stop from taking action altogether, then you will not be able to learn, right? What happens here is that because you are afraid of making mistake, you are making the same mistake, but you are making it 10 times slow. What is happening? You are making a mistake 10 times slow. So all the things you would have learned in one day, you will take 10 days to learn. Okay. You are making the same mistakes because how else will you learn? But you're making it 10 times slower because there is no safe environment to make mistakes. So, what we do in LawSikho courses? We say that, okay, you have to draft a contract. And by the way, the biggest problem is a lot of people freeze. You ask them to draft a contract, they'll be like, I don't know where to start. You ask them to write an article, they'll not write anything. We're like, just write one page. Just write one clause. But they'll freeze. I don't know, my brain is not working. That is the worst case. Hardest client, hardest people is who will not do anything. But if the person makes a mistake, we can show no, not like this, like this. Okay, it's a safe environment, make mistake, you learn. And then next time you do the next contract, you get all those things wrong. And your brain starts adjusting to all this. And you quickly learn. Okay, this is how we do it. Now, that is not how law firms do it. If you make a mistake, your nose will be rubbed on the floor and you will be humiliated and your confidence crushed. So you will make the same simple mistake and you will be paranoid about making a mistake, right? Like I said, I'll wake up 6 months later, afraid that I have done such a blunder. Okay. So being super scared of making a mistake slows you down in a law firm. And you don't learn after that. After that, learning itself is very hard. And you keep making mistakes, right? Some people just don't manage to cope up, get out of it. You spend hours going in the wrong direction, right? You spend hours going in the wrong direction blindly, and then many hours redoing the same work. That is why it takes 10 hours. First, you did all the wrong stuff, right? Nobody corrected you. Then you go into them. Then they humiliated you for going in the wrong direction. Then you have to recover from the humiliation. Then you are trying to do it again. And this time you are not sure, are you again going in the wrong direction blindly? Or are you going in the right direction? Okay. So you're redoing the same work much more slowly. So you end up taking 10x time to do the same work. And that is why people spend so much time in doing, simple work. And, you hear about people having atrocious work hours, working till 3 o'clock in the morning. It's exactly because of this. If they knew how to do the work, what to do, they would have done it much better at a much better speed. And these kind of problems, it would have not arisen if they only had the skills and the training from the beginning, right? It's like telling you, never giving you training. Okay, imagine you are how many of you know how to drive a car? Just say yes. If you know how to drive a car, just write yes in the chat, please, everyone. On YouTube also, people who are watching, I see 33 people watching. Please write yes if you know how to drive a car. Okay. Okay. Now imagine if you don't know how to drive a car, then maybe you know how to swing. Maybe you know how to sing or how to swim. Okay. Now imagine that you are on the road, there is traffic, okay, and you are driving a very expensive car, like you're driving a Rolls Royce, because your clients are Rolls Royces here, right? $1 million businesses, right? And you have to drive the Rolls Royce, and even if you do one scratch, you're fired, and you don't know how to drive it. You have never driven it, and there is one guy sitting next to you, and he is screaming at you, even if you make a mistake. Okay, and you have to drive it right. Okay, this is how it is to work in a law firm. When you do not have any previous training. Okay, or if you think of singing, right? You're trying to sing. Somebody told you that you have to sing in the stage before 1,000 people. Okay, and you are trying to sing. Just before singing, they said, okay, do a rehearsal and show me how will you sing. But if you sing well, you will get paid 1 lakh rupees, 1.5 lakh rupees, and all of that. Okay, but you have to sing. But when you start bad singing, not so good, because you have never got trained for singing, right? People are screaming at you. You have read all theories on what are notes, how to sing, books you have read about singing, but you have never actually sang, right, on a stage, and you're about to sing on a stage, and you're doing a rehearsal, and people are screaming at you. Okay, Are itna kitna kharab hai, you are making a mistake, what kind of idiot are you? You don't deserve this job, and you are trying to still sing through all of that, in face of that humiliation. Okay, this is what a junior lawyer goes through in a law firm. I am not saying that people don't go through this in a litigation chamber or anything, but in a law firm, most of the time, a lot of people go through this, which is why you will see there's an exodus of junior lawyers out of these law firms. Okay, and there are several of you who have worked in law firms. Please tell me if I am saying it wrong. Okay, Raki is saying I had to leave a law firm job only because I was not agreeing to go watch a picture avatar with the 20 colleagues arranged by the partners. Wow. Okay, that is another level of thing, but I haven't seen this. Swapnil is saying 100% accurate. Okay, PR is saying you are so right. So anyway, just saying, okay, this is what it is happening in law firms across the country in India. Okay, then your productivity and brain function nosedives due to unhealthy lifestyle and stress. Okay, if I don't sleep 2 nights, 3 nights well, 4th night my productivity is not as good. Okay, that time I was 10 years younger, maybe it was working a little better, but still, if you don't sleep week after week properly, and you are under so much stress all the time, your productivity will fall, sink like anything. It's like you can't be highly productive. Your brain stops working, your productivity dips, and then you are even more dead. Okay, and stress and unhealthy lifestyle. I fell sick. I was hospitalized for 11 days from a strange disease that happened to me due to extreme low immunity. Okay. And I mean, it's not like, I wouldn't say that the partners could have done something or HR could have done something. I think it was, I mean, I won't blame anyone looking back. That time I was making them villain in my head. But when I look back, I realized that this is the nature of the job. This is highly demanding job. And some people survive, thrive, others don't. I could have thrived if I prepared beforehand, which is why when I built 𝗆𝗲𝗍, 𝗊𝒐leaders, I focused on teaching people to preparing them for this. So imagine, instead of making so many mistakes, you have already made these mistakes. So when you are starting to drive, you are very well trained. You have driven for 100 hours. And then you are doing this, or you have been singing for 100 hours, you have got correction, somebody patiently corrected you, and then you are going and performing there, you will be smooth, right? You will perform really well. And that is the only thing. And we do, and it makes a huge difference to the lawyers. And somebody was saying that if they say, are you from NLU, you say, no, I am from 𝗆𝗲𝗍. Never say that. Okay, it's like magic. When you can do this, you are so performing so well, they think that you are really smart and they are amazing. And because if you tell them you have learned it from 𝗆𝗲𝗍, they will, this is what I tell my students always, that never say that you are from 𝗆𝗲𝗍. Say that I have deep interest in this work, so I have learned this somehow. Okay, I'm just able to do it. Pretend that it is all your natural ability. There are two reasons. There are some law firms that hate us because we are talking like this to you. I'm telling you all these things. They don't want us to talk about this, right? And we are training our students to deal with this situation. So they don't like it. They don't think that we should be teaching these kind of things for some reason. There are other law firms which hire us to go and teach their juniors, even their partners. We teach like a lot of top companies in this country. Our clients include ITC, ICICI Bank, Mahindra, HPCL, Microsoft, Samsung, so many big companies where legal teams, executive teams, HR teams, we have taught law. Okay, and there we have worked with some law firms also, including Advaita Legal, right? We have done a course for them, and other law firms also. But there are certain law firms who actually have a certain reservation, and because they think, अच्छा ये तो shortcut है, बाकी लोग इतना fight कर रहे हैं, 𝗆𝗲𝗍 is teaching all these shortcuts. It's not shortcuts. It's actually, I'm teaching you the skills you need. Okay, but they will have this anyway. So life doesn't look very nice in this situation. Okay, how long can you continue like this, right? How long can you continue like this? What do successful law firm associates do differently? This is something to think about. So I tried to study the law firm associates who managed to survive in law firms for 5 years, 6 years, became partners, stayed in the same law firm, and I tried to understand from them what worked. Okay. Physical health, right? Focus on your physical health. I have seen all the partners, successful lawyers, they have tremendously good physical health. They gym, they play something, they make time and play. There's no point saying, I don't get time, I don't get time. You have to bloody make time, otherwise you will not succeed. Okay. Mental health, a lot of them have focus on mental health. Some of them, many of them, they obviously won't talk to you publicly about this, but many of them have therapists. They have coaches. Okay, now to big law firms are hiring coaches for their partners. Okay, but even if you are in a law, if you are earning 1,50,000 per month or 1 lakh rupees per month also, and if you have to spend 10,000 rupees per month on a coach, please spend that 10,000 rupees, because the coach will help you to sort out your mind, focus and all of that. Mental health is very important. Have a good, maybe a psychotherapist if you need, or a psychologist or coach, whatever. Somebody who helps you to be more organized, helps you to achieve your goals. So for example, even today I have a coach, right? As a CEO, I have an executive coach who helps me to plan my week, to think it through. I have a big goal, okay, how to achieve it. Now the same thing, it could be done if you are a lawyer and you are earning 1 lakh rupees a month. Please spend that 10,000 or 15,000 or 20,000 on a good coach who can help you to plan your things and achieve success. Okay. If nothing else, mental health expert. Okay. Organization, you have to be highly organized, right? You have to know, okay, if you have 5 different things to do, maybe you have a system to keep track of things. You have using like sticky notes, I don't know, like writing notes, keeping a to-do list, keeping a calendar, or planning your day in the morning. I recently did a workshop on productivity of lawyers, how to plan your day, how to keep track of things. Please do that, right? It's a very, very important thing. Organize yourself. The more organized you are, better you will be able to deal with your stress. Stress will go down, okay, when you are able to be highly organized. Apart from training, like, if you don't have the skills, organization won't help you, right? But you have to have the skills. And then I'm saying, even after having skills, you have to do these things. Keeping track of all the tasks, right? How do you keep track of all the tasks? Do you have a running to-do list? Do you have reminder system? Do you set alarms on your phone? Do you procrastinate, or do you have a system to actually follow through on your plans? Okay. Then taking notes. Take a lot of notes. Whenever you're talking to people, just carry up notebook and pen with you all the time and keep taking notes. It's a very good habit. Okay. And it will help you a lot, because you can never remember, so much is going on. You may be able to remember it today, tomorrow, but 7 days later, if you have notes, you'll be able to remember an exact conversation that you had with a client or with your boss or whatever, right? Take a lot of notes. Record conversations with permission from your senior. Please ask your senior, is it okay if I record conversation? This is not to prove a point, but this is so that you don't miss anything. So when your senior is giving an instruction, please say that, see, I am taking notes, but is it okay if I also record it? In case I miss something, I can listen to this later. And if you say it like this, that, I don't want to miss any of your instructions, or, giving instruction, can I record it? They'll say, okay, record it. Okay. So they need to trust you. They should not feel that you're going to use this recording against them, right? There should be absolute great trust between you and your senior. So record conversation with permission from your seniors. It would, it's a good idea, so that you can manage your work better, keep track of instructions better. And of course, it will help you later on to prove, if some people deny what they said, they deny the instructions they gave, so it will help you. And I also said CYA, if you think something is fishy or something is, something recorded by doing CYA, say you write an email saying that, just confirming that this is what you want me to do, okay, and send a mail, and it will help to keep track of things, and later on they can't go back on it, right? Because you keep doing CYA, you keep putting it on documents. It'll be great. It's a good habit as a lawyer, in a law firm especially. Do your research, learn what you can on your own, ask questions sparingly. So, a lot of people, what they do, if there is something that can be Googled and you are going and asking your seniors, it will not be nice. Please understand that they are very busy. You are there so that they can go home early, not to increase to their work. These people don't understand, right? They think that, I am there. If I make a mistake, my senior will catch it. They'll fix it. Or, I don't understand this. Why don't I go and ask my senior? It is their job to tell me. No, sorry. It is not their job to train you. It is not their job to coach you. It is not their job to guide you. It is not their job to mentor you. Bullshit. Okay. If you go with that expectation, if somebody does it, well and good. You're lucky. But do not go with that expectation. Do not put a burden on them. It will backfire. I guarantee you. Even the nicest person, they are under very high pressure. You don't want to put that kind of pressure on them. What you want to do is, you do your own research fully, everything you can find. Okay. Learn what you can on your own, and then ask questions sparingly. What you have to ask, you ask. Nothing else. Right? Realize that nobody cares if you fail, because in a law firm, if you see people are getting fired left, right, and center, and they have seen 100 people coming through the door and going. If you go tomorrow, they don't give a damn. Okay, nobody cares if you fail. Only you should care that you succeed, right? They care if you succeed, yes, that they will get a, because they are half expecting you to fail. Okay, but if you succeed, then they will get a good resource. That is all they are interested in, that okay, I have a good supporting resource, that I can deliver better work, I have a better team. This is what they are interested in. Okay, they are not, don't be fooled into thinking that you can be nice to someone and they'll be nice to you, and all this collegial things are gone, like not in a law firm. Okay, and you need to find a mentor. And by the way, mentor-mentee relationship is very much give and take. Mentor will mentor you because they need a good second level of people. Okay, so that they can be more successful in life, they can be more successful in the law firm, right? When they grow, they need some good right hand, left hand, forearm, whatever, right? So multiple people who will be supporting them. So can you be one of those people that they can blindly trust, rely on, count on, right? So it's always good to find a mentor who's already a rising star in the law firm, ideally, because they are rising and they need people to go along with them towards the up, and they need people like that. And if you are helping them, then it's very good, because you will rise along with them. Okay, this is how people have fast growth in law firms. So if you are associated with those partners who are fast growing and they are doing well and all of that, that is the best thing you can do as an early associate, or not even a partner, maybe a rising star senior associate, and that you build such a relationship with that senior associate that they can trust you with eyes closed. That's it, you're set, you will be succeeding in their law firm, right? That is how important it is to find a mentor. But remember, mentor's job is not to teach you basic things, FDI rules and all of that. You are there to make them successful, and they are rising fast and you are rising with them. They'll help you out in political situations in the firm and stuff like that, right? You have to be an ally for your boss. Okay, your boss, you live and die with your boss in a law firm. There is nothing else. Okay, if you don't like your boss, then go find another job or learn how to like him. There is nothing else. If you say, I don't like my boss, how will I succeed in my law firm? You can't succeed. This world of corporate law firms is such that you are there for your boss. You don't work for the law firm, you work for your boss. Okay, if you don't understand this, you are in the wrong place. Okay, you don't like it, find a different job. Okay, so your job is to not make yourself successful, but your job is to make your boss successful. If your boss is successful, he'll make sure you are successful. This is how it works. This basic rule people don't understand when they join law firm, and if they do everything right and they don't get this right, they are screwed. There is no way they'll succeed. Okay, they'll keep creeping and they'll have to change their job, and they'll be like, my boss was unfair, blah blah blah. Its problem is with you that you never became an ally for your boss. And if you say that, why should I have to suck up to my boss? It's not sucking up. This is the nature of this organization. This is how these law firms are structured. If you are not, it's not about sucking up. If you're an ally of your boss or not. Is your boss someone who can blindly trust you? Does he rely on you? Does he see you as somebody who's going to help him grow further in his career? Because everybody needs resources to grow. They can't grow on their own. Okay, no matter how good a lawyer they are. And if you are that person, then you will grow. Otherwise, go start your own law firm or work in wherever this is not the case, but not here, right? Are you guys clear? So I see 38 people here on YouTube. So are you guys clear that if you're working in a law firm, right, you are working for your boss, you're not working for the firm, right? Are you okay with that? Do you still want to work in a law firm? If yes, then yes. If not, then no. Okay, do you understand? Is this clear? So how many of you don't like this? If you don't like this, right, I don't like this, and that's fine, right? Stand by your boss's success. Stand for your boss's success. This is your job. I already explained this, so I'll move on. Okay. Law firms hire extra people from the beginning, knowing that they would lose most. Okay, just go and see. This is how it is, right? But you go to a law firm, a top law firm, Not all of, there are exceptions, by the way. I don't want to take any names again. You will see that you go there, sit today and see all the people, go back after 12 months and look around again. You will see that 50% or 30% people are not there. The attrition rate is 30%, 40%, 50%. People don't stay for long, can't stay for long, and they change and all of that. That's absolutely fine. Some people stay for long. There are people who are working in the same law firm for 20 years. Okay, so it's not like nobody can. You just have to have the temperament and the kind of, you have to do the things right, then you'll be able to do it. Okay, but most people don't succeed. Keep that in mind. Knowledge and skill deficit. A lot of people are saying, how to, why should I then work in a corporate law firm? Don't like it, don't work now, but understand what you're getting into if you're going to work in a law firm. This is what it takes. You have assumed that you have a huge knowledge and skill deficit. What you have to do, you don't know. First of all, figure out, okay, that what is the work, and it is justifiable because people do go to this amount of trouble because they can earn a lot of money. If you realize a law firm partner with 10 years of experience, 12 years of experience might be drawing 1 crore per year or more than that, 2 crore, 3 crore, 5 crore per year. And depends also, right? Whether they bring in business, what is their standing in the profession. And people want to get there, right? So they are ready to do this, okay? So many people are ready to do this. If you're not ready to do this, you need to know upfront what you're getting in, right? Knowledge and skill deficit. Assume that you have a knowledge and skill deficit and try to discover what is the deficit. What is the work that you'll have to do? Let's say you are going to work as an IP lawyer, or you are going to work as a capital markets lawyer. You're going to work in the banking team of a law firm or a M&A lawyer, whatever, investment. What is the work that those lawyers do? What is keeping them busy 80% of the time, right? I can assure you that there will be a list of 20, 30, 40 tasks that they're repeatedly doing. Not even 20, some cases 10 tasks. There are 10 things, 5 documents, 5, they are just doing all of that most of the time. Yeah, there is a lot of other random tasks which is completely unpredictable. Even if you don't know that, it's okay, but at least you can do these things right. Like if you're working in the M&A team, you know due diligence, you know how to draft shareholder agreements, share purchase agreements, business transfer agreements, you know how to do the compliance, deal compliance. That's it. There are like this, 10, 12, 15 things, you know very well, you will be fine. Please understand, it's not so difficult. If you know that, it's like smooth. You'll hit the ground running. If you don't know it, then you'll lose your head trying to learn this, right? So this you have to understand. Knowledge and skill deficit, understand the exact deficit, and then try to learn that so that you are not struggling. You will be lucky to find a boss who is willing to spend even 15 minutes a day to teach you. Okay, there are people who will spend even an hour a day. If your boss spends 1 hour a day teaching you, you are like, you have hit jackpot. Okay, but most of them won't be even willing to spend 15 minutes a day. It's not that if you go and ask them, will you spend an hour? If I ask them that, will you be okay with spending 1 hour teaching your junior? They'll say, yes, why not? 1 hour is no problem. But in reality, if you are taking 1 hour of their time when they're already so stressed, when they are trying to go home early, their wife is threatening to divorce them because they don't go home on time, when their children, they are missing their children's, school functions, they are highly stressed, and they are having deadlines. If there's a mistake, something like that, if you are going to take a lot of time from them for your training, then God help you. Okay, I doubt you will, but you are in trouble. Okay, so you need to keep in mind that you're pretty much on your own, and expecting bosses and anybody else to help you is unrealistic. They don't take holidays. They are working without holidays for years, and may not have taken a single holiday in the whole year. You think if they have free time or so much spare time, why would they not take a leave they enjoy their time instead of teaching you? It is their formal duty to teach you, but they are not going to like doing it. Please remember that. So the less they do, the better off you are. Most people learn by trial and error in reality, because you don't want to be shouted at, screamed at, and all of that, right? So most people learn by trial and error in law firms. Okay, you probably don't even know what you need to learn in the first place, right? You don't know. Okay. Do you know if you're going to work in M&A, investment law? Sure, you need to know the FDI policy. Okay. If you are going to work in the banking team, you need to know the ECB regulations, external commercial borrowing regulations. But what should you read in there? What else should you read along with it? Do you know any of those things? Probably you have no clue where to start, what to do, how this is applicable, when this will be needed. You are just blindly reading some documents. Okay. On top of this, getting started is very difficult. Okay. You don't even know where to start. Where do you begin? What is the right material to study? Is this enough? Is that enough? How much do I have to read? Right? You're totally confused. You have no idea. And I often spent hours studying the wrong things. I loved reading. I loved reading law. I loved the law. So I kept reading this and that, which was all useless. Okay, never helped me. Like some of it helped, but many of it was completely waste of time, was not going to help me in my work. If I knew what I know today, I would never read those things first. I'll read something else first. Even if I was reading the right material, sometimes I didn't get the right understanding because I did not get the context. Like, why this? Where is this applicable? I'm reading the right document, but still not able to understand, the right perspective. So simply speaking, I did not get the right guidance. Okay. And then there are law firm training programs. You must be knowing, if you have interned also in a law firm, there are weekly knowledge management sessions, training programs. There are orientation programs for freshers. Okay. These things don't help, my friend. Okay. It's like you'll get some more information in there, right? They will have latest case laws. They'll talk about, okay, there is a new FDI policy. This is the change in the policy. This is how it will impact. But trust me, it's not going to help you to actually know what you need to know, because they'll not teach you the basics. Okay. Shreya is saying, oh, thank God I'm not the only one. I keep on reading information and don't know where to implement, how to work with it. Please share a skill deficit document or something that explains in detail what law students need to read up before entering a corporate job, especially the different specializing and teams like banking, capital markets, real estate, etc. Sehaj, I'm happy to help you. I already prepared such documents. All you have to do, and this is free of cost, you don't need to pay LawSikho to access this, but you go to any course, like we have a real estate law course, we have a banking and finance law course, we have capital markets, we have M&A investment law. So we have courses like this, right? Simply go to the course page and there will be a section in the course page. You don't have to buy the course. On the course page, there is a section called weekly exercises. Okay, go through the weekly exercises. Those things you need to know. Okay, contract drafting course. Go there. There is a weekly exercises. You need to know that. Then there is a specific learning objectives. There is one section called specific learning objectives. Okay, you need to learn this. Those are the things. Those are the list. That is a document that you're talking about, a skill deficit document. We have made that, and that is how we build courses, right? So we have put it out there in the public domain. You can go and see this. You can read this. And I am advising everyone who wants to work. You want to work in real estate? Go look at LawSikho's real estate course and look at the specific learning objectives. Look at the weekly exercises, because those are the things you need to learn. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. What about law firm? Oh, this is done. Another important factor is feedback on the work done. Okay. Very, very important is the feedback. I was always confused about the feedback I got. Okay. Somebody will say, I'm not happy with your drafting, but are kya change kya karna hai? Then they make the changes, and then I can't understand what is the difference. Why was mine wrong? Why is his right? It makes no sense. It looks like some artificial language change, some wordings got changed. Why was mine bad? There will be some explanation, right? And it's crazy. Shreya, thank you to you too. You have checked it out. I'm great. I'm glad that you have checked it and you liked the course pages and you benefited from the specific learning objectives. So I couldn't figure out what I was doing wrong. How do I get better? Arey, ye bhi to batao. How do I get what was wrong in what I drafted? I see you have changed this in track changes, but why did you make those changes? And I am the kind of person who I have fundamental questions. If I can't understand, I can't work, right? But they won't explain. I didn't see a clear forward path, how to improve, right? And then there's a pressure cooker environment. It is very famous in certain organizations like brokers in a stock exchange. It's called a boiler room, where the brokers are sitting and shouting at each other and trading and all of that, right? It's called a boiler room environment. And law firms are also like boiler room environment. People are shouting at each other, just under huge pressure working. People routinely shout at their juniors. You will see people being fired left, right, and center. You have seen some guy who you went on lunch with him, and you come back and he's fired. Okay, and you're like, what the hell is going on? And you feel super insecure in that environment. It can be shocking and traumatic. Okay, but remember that those who bleed in practice win in the battle. So make sure that is why I recommend to all of you that if you're going to work in a law firm, or you are already working in a law firm also, try to take a LawSikho course which is relevant to you. Bleed in practice, make all your mistakes in the practice, so that in the battle, when you will be actually working, you don't make any mistakes, right? Prepare ahead if you do not want to succumb when you are at the war. Okay, I wanted to share with you one case study of Pranjal. We did a super lawyer interview with Pranjal many years back. I could find only this today. There are many other people like this. People who have got a job in a big law firm. Pranjal got a job in trilegal, and then he joined our course just so that before he joins, he can prepare. Okay, super lawyer is updating. We're doing super lawyer interviews. We'll be doing more soon. Okay, so Pranjal Bhattacharya, he did, and you can read this, right? You have this link. You can Google Pranjal Bhattacharya, super lawyer, trilegal. You'll find it and you can read it. Okay. Okay, I'm going to talk about next level of problems, but before that, I need just 1 second break. Just give me 1 moment. Okay, I apologize for the sudden break. No, it's not Pranjal Sina, Pranjal Bhattacharya. Okay, so you can, maybe in the break, you have Googled it and you have seen something. Okay. So next level of problems. Okay, there are a bunch of other problems. Over specialization. Now this is the beginner problems, and then even if you are able to overcome the beginner problems, next level is these problems you will face. Over specialization. Okay, you have specialized so much in one domain that you know nothing about the rest. Okay, it's a huge problem with a lot of people. Okay, so they are struggling. I mean, I was just talking to one friend today, and he went to one of the biggest law firms, one of the most reputed partners, gave him advice on banking related work, right? Please share link. Okay. Just 1 second, guys. You want me to share the link? So I'm sharing the link. Just give me a moment. Pranjal Bhattacharya's interview. Okay, here it is. Okay, but you can Google this, you'll be able to find super lawyer Pranjit Bhattacharya. It's not Pranjal, sorry, it's Pranjit. I made a mistake. Okay, Pranjit Bhattacharya. Yeah, I'm confused now. Anyway, maybe I'm getting it wrong. This guy was from BILS. Just check. BILS is Bangalore Institute of Legal Studies. Our student, right? So okay, coming back to our discussion, guys. It doesn't matter. You can just tell me. I'll send you a lot of links like this. Many of every year there are people like this who are very smart, and after getting a big law firm job, they join us so that they can go prepared and not unprepared. Over special. So let's come back to this problem. Over specialization is that, imagine that you know only about banking. This is the work you do all day long. So what will happen is that very soon you will not know other things. Like, for example, this my friend was telling me, who is legal head in a big, NBFC. And in their case, what happened? If you charge additional interest on that, there is no GST. But if you call it some other interest, then there is GST on it. And this was not realized by the law firm partner, because, and he says that I don't know tax law, I'm not an expert on tax law. How does it matter? You're serving a client, the client is losing money because of GST, right? So you have to give a complete advice, right? You can't say I don't know this law, I don't know that law, because clients don't appreciate. You lose clients if you do that. Okay, so over specialization happens because you are working on same thing, and people get very bored and very tired. Okay, every day you are just drafting and redrafting the same shareholder agreement, share subscription agreement, share purchase agreement, and you're like, my intellectual growth has stopped. Or you're doing the same due diligence again and again and again. I felt like that, okay, that my intellectual growth has stopped. I'm just making, like changes in the same documents over and over. And then there is deal madness, right? You are not paid as a junior corporate lawyer because you are so smart, you have brilliant advice, your knowledge of law. You are paid because you are doing a very demanding job untiringly and through, very diligently. This is what it is. And deal madness will be there. Like if it is a successful, good law firm, they'll have deal after deal after deal, and you are running from one deal to another deal, not sleeping, just trying to keep it up, and it's crazy. Okay, so there is deal madness, I call it. And this deal madness, handling it is not easy. Then there is a problem of hierarchy, extremely hierarchical, right? So if you are in a big law firm, maybe if you're in a small law firm, it's more flat, less hierarchy. So you might learn how to handle clients sooner and your growth might happen sooner. But in a big law firm, because your seniors, associates are waiting for that development that you're not going to have. So you are going to do the same thing for a long time, and your growth will happen much slower and through extreme hierarchy. Because of that, let's say you are smart enough to do something, but you can't do it. Okay, let's say I am smart enough to bring business somehow, but I can't do that in a law firm. There's no place for that, right? They don't want you to do that. They just want hierarchy. Like they know what to do, what they're doing. They don't want you to be over smart. Over reliance on seniors, right? So you might be told to handle something when your senior is gone for a holiday or something, but you don't know how to, you'll not be able to solve problems because there is so much spoon feeding, right? And you are over specialized anyway. You have been doing the same work again and again. So some in-house counsel comes to you and asks, and in-house counsels are dealing with all kinds of problems. So they have a more breadth of knowledge. So then it becomes more challenging for you to deal with them. And you are extremely reliant on seniors. You don't know what to say. You'll have to reach out to your seniors 100 times to answer a basic question. And it is really unfortunate that this is what happens to law firm lawyers. You have no time for self-advancements or learning. In this environment, you will not get time to read a book, or you will not get time to do yoga, or, I don't know, whatever. Very difficult. You should try to do your best, but do some things at least what is easily doable. But it will be really hard for you to do any real self-advancement or learning, or you're learning the law, you're writing articles, and it's very hard. You just have too much work most of the time. So whenever you have breaks, right, whenever you have droughts, sometimes there are these times when there is not enough work suddenly for 2 months, 3 months, then you should really throw yourself into self-advancement work, self-improvement work, and do as much as possible. And then sometimes showing off takes precedence over actual work. You're showing off that, look, I am working so late in the office. I am, look at the size of this document. It is 160-page agreement, which could have been done in 60 page, but you made it 160 page so that, you can say I worked so much, worked so many hours. All this kind of, a lot of happens in some law firms, and culture is also there. You see your bosses doing this, you learn, you do it. You don't know how the industry works and work in a cocoon, right? So very often you're very far away from, for all the claims of, I understand the client commercials, I'm a commercial lawyer, commercial first lawyer later, all these things law firm lawyers say. But in reality, they're working in a cocoon. They're secluded from any kind of industry people most of the time. Their clients are other lawyers from in-house counsels a lot of times. Because of these, they don't have any real interface with the industry, real interface with the world, and their development and their understanding of the work is very limited. And this is a very big problem. Unstructured time and environment. A lot of lawyers are highly indisciplined, senior is indisciplined, then what do you do as a junior? They are not following any proper time schedule, working late at night, then you're forced to do that. They don't have any systems. I have seen my friends getting completely screwed because their senior is unable to manage anything, then throwing them under the bus. Happens all the time. Okay. So how to handle problematic bosses? So first of all, become an asset to the boss. Make sure that you go out of your way to help them. You go out of your way to make them successful. And if they're not getting it and they're still problematic, then you have to change the boss, right? You have to get out of there as soon as possible. And that is very important. Sometimes you'll be working with bad bosses, you need to get out of there. Because you should see who is the boss. Like, does this person have some vision? Are they growing? Are they somebody who is only doing politics? Their entire existence depends on politics, right? Or their entire USP is that they're very good at politics. Such bosses will probably won't be good for you. They'll do politics with you also someday. So it's better that you have bosses who are growing, who are very visionary, they have an ambition and they want to grow, and they will look, if you are an ally to such a boss, it will help. So try to work with such bosses. If you end up with other kind of bosses, get out of it as soon as you can, because it's not worth it. Okay, but obviously don't just run out of there. Take your time, apply to other places. Once you have a job in hand, then only go out. Like, strategically do it. Don't just do stupid things also. Okay, when and how to move away from bad environments, right? So if you know bad environment, you realize it's a bad environment, get out of there. There are enough positive environments, good partners, good people. You are going to work with them. Most people don't have this clarity. They have a bad experience and they think this is it, right? Everybody's like this, but that is not the case. And sometimes you have to see whether you are the person who's at fault here. Are you the one who's not bringing enough to work? Are you the one who's slacking? Are you the one who actually don't care about the job, right? So are you not adding value, right? What is stopping you from delivering on the expectations of your boss, right? So you have to see that. But if you are in a truly bad environment, then it is better that you move away from there and you go somewhere where it suits you. Maybe it is an environment that suits a certain kind of personality. Maybe you're not that. Just put folded hands with a lot of humility, get out of there, find somebody with whom you gel with, right? This is very important. But don't get away, like, take your time, like, to evaluate, to apply somewhere else, to get it, and do it smartly, right? That's all my request, because people do a lot of knee-jerk reactions when they are in such situations. How to keep your sanity and health intact in the middle of the deal madness? Remember that you have your sanity and your health is more important than the job. Okay, if you leave that job, you can find another thing. You will figure out something how to earn money. In this whole world, there is enough things. You will find a way to add value to other people and you will be able to earn money. You don't have to sit at home also and cry about it, right? So if it comes down to your mental health, if it comes down to your sanity, if it comes down to your physical health, okay, show the middle finger and leave, right? Politely, again, don't do it any harsh way. Don't burn bridges. Just nicely say that my health is not permitting. Walk out of there, because nothing is worth your health. Nothing. If you compromise your health, it is much harder to get it back than get a job. I can promise you that. It won't look like that initially, but this is what it is. Okay. What you must take why you must take special care of your mental health? I have seen people who have gone through hell to retain their jobs, and then they have suffered in their mental health so much that they're never able to do another job, that they are undergoing treatment for years. They are in depression for months and not able to recover. So don't do that. Okay. I mean, that is even worse. Like, you are not able to work anywhere. Imagine you are so badly damaged. Your mental health is so badly damaged. You don't let that happen. Okay. You must take special care of your mental health. Okay. And definitely get help of experts. Get maybe have a good diet, have good supplements, figure it out how to do it. There is, if you want to, if you prioritize it, right, then you will be able to figure out a way to do this, right? But if you don't prioritize it, because when I was young, I used to think, what is this mental health? my mental health is bulletproof, my health is bulletproof. No, it is not bulletproof. Don't make that mistake, right? You think ठीक है 2-4 साल health थोड़ा खराब हो जाएगा बाद में ठीक हो जाएगा. No, it is not like that. Okay, don't do that. How to organize your day and how to deal with your reporting associates. Okay, you have to be organized. You must break down your day. You must give yourself time for a little bit of self improvement, self development, reading and stuff like that. It's very hard, but still you try, because otherwise your brain becomes a zombie. Your productivity will fall. Keep that in mind. Trying to see how your seniors work, what is their system, what is their productivity schedule, and try to kind of manage with that. Okay, that will really help. So I am a proud person, okay, and I was always a good student. I always succeed. So I had a tough time adjusting to the law firm environment because I was really off balance, and it is primarily because I was unprepared. Okay, so when I look back later, what would I not give to be well prepared so that my life would have been easier when I actually began working at a law firm? And I think it was very much doable. When I look back, I realized that it was very much doable. I just had to prepare. I soon realized that this was not my problem alone. Almost all juniors go through this painful phase. Okay, not only at big law firms, but even in companies, even in law chambers, small law firms, everywhere. So when we were building online courses, I focused on this pain point. This was worth addressing for me. Okay. I strongly believe that we can train law students and young lawyers so that they never face these problems. Okay. Back in 2012, we started training law students to be better lawyers. We focused on training them in practical skills that will help them to stand out in a workplace as interns, as lawyers. Today, some law firms and in-house counsels teams hire us to train their junior lawyers better. And almost in every law firm, we have our students working there. Or, in companies also, a lot of companies in the entire industry, they're spread. We have trained thousands of students till date. Okay, so you have to think, this is my advice to you, you have to think what is the job that you want and how will you prepare for it, right? Please take out 5 minutes and write down your answer. This is my humble request to you. Take out 5 minutes and write down your answers. Okay, let me know if LawSikho can help you. We are specialized in that. We can really help you to prepare for such situations. If you're struggling in a law firm already, we can still help you with that. There are 3 courses I want to recommend to you, and I want you to download the free study material of these 3 courses and check it out. Okay, it might be useful. These are government certified courses now because we have got recognition from Skill India and National Skill Development Corporation, and they are being offered now by LawSikho. And they came and collaborated with us. NSDC when we approached them, they agreed to collaborate with us because we have tremendously good job records. We are able to place people in companies, in law firms, and so on. And we are able to actually help people to get skills that will make them employable, which is why we are working together. So I am going to share something. So I'm going to share these links with you, right? Quickly, I'm going to share these links with you, and there will be free study material so you can download. Even if you don't buy the course, just download and benefit from this at least, right? Why not do that? Is the corporate M&A space location driven? How good is the quality of practice in Chennai? Chennai doesn't have much of M&A practice, very rarely, but it's mostly law firms in Delhi, Bangalore, and Bombay. Delhi and Bombay primarily, a little bit Bangalore also, where M&A practice happens. Okay. There are other ones I wanted to share with you. Just a second. I have shared the M&A one. I'm going to next share the corporate law one. Okay. Just 1 second. This is a course also I highly recommend you check out here. And I have to share it on YouTube also. Here you go. And the other one, technology law. Also, I'll share in 1 second. So in this case, we can say that these are courses which are government recognized through NSDC, Ministry of Skill and Entrepreneurship, Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, NSDC. Here you go. IP1 is not part of this. Okay, but you can go and see. You can simply go to 𝘆𝗲𝗂𝗏/courses. You can go to 𝘆𝗲𝗂.com and find out. Right? Awesome, super. What else do I have to tell you today? Okay, so one thing, how many of you would like to stay in touch with me in future? Are you connected with me on Twitter? If yes, write yes. If not, no. Say no in the chat. Okay, anybody still not connected with me on Twitter? I request you that follow me on Twitter. Let's stay connected there. If you want me to follow you, just tweet at me saying, please follow me. I'll follow you back. Okay, here is my Twitter profile. Let's stay in touch. I'd love to stay in touch with you all. Why only on LinkedIn? Join Twitter. Twitter is the best social media platform that is out there. Most powerful to find clients, to find your employers, everything. It's an amazing place to build your profile. So not only LinkedIn, be on Twitter. Let's connect on Twitter. Okay, so that's one thing. The other thing I have to tell you is that tomorrow I have a workshop. Okay, in this workshop, I'm going to talk about the workings of a 1 crore per year corporate law practice and how to set it up. Okay, and why am I talking about this topic? Because if you are fed up with the corporate law situation, then one solution is to build your own corporate law firm, which is what I thought. There was a time, one day I was sitting in an office party and seeing this. I was a bit drunk and seeing all this office politics happening in front of me, and I couldn't even imagine myself being involved in it, and just it was killing me. Okay, and I was thinking what to do, and it's not Dubai office, it was in a party in Dubai, office retreat. So they took us to Dubai for a retreat, right? And we were staying in nice hotels and stuff like that. And I was sitting on this terrace, and the Allen and Overy lawyers were there, trilegal lawyers were there. And I was sitting and I was thinking that, I want to build my own law firm. I want to build my own something where it would be not like this, it will be different. This is what I was thinking. And I would make it perfect. Like, you can't make it perfect. I couldn't make it perfect, honestly. I'm sure some of the people who work with me will have complaints about what I am doing. But, I wanted to take a shot at building the dream workplace for myself. At least I'm doing a dream work that I always wanted to do. And I think that was a magical moment when I decided that I'm going to do this, and I did it. And today we are 100 people. We are doing like a turnover of 8-9 crores so far, could reach even farther in LawSikho. And it's just amazing. It's so fulfilling to interact with all of you, make a, the way to join me, Rajat, is to start your own, right? What if you can start your own law firm and reach a turnover of 1 crore per year? Or think of it this way, maybe you know that you can't do it yourself. There may be somebody else who's doing 50 lakhs per year, right? Earning 2-3 lakhs per year. Maybe you can join forces with them and help them to reach 1 crore. Maybe somebody's already doing 1 crore. Can you help them to make it 2 crore, 3 crore, 10 crores, right? So I'll give you an example like Komal Shah. Okay. Komal Shah is my co-founder. 𝗷𝗰𝗰𝗀 is my co-founder. 𝗷𝗰𝗰𝗀 and I started earlier. Komal joined us later, right? And she was initially an employee, and she was not a partner in LawSikho. Okay, that time we were doing a turnover around 1 crore, and then she joined us, and she was doing such good work that we invited her, and she contributed so much to the company that we invited her to be a co-founder and get equity in the company. We offered her equity in the company, and she became. And since then there's some same thing for 𝘆𝗲𝗂𝗏, and he became also a co-founder in the same way. Then there are other people who have got equity in the company, and all together today we have grown it 10x. So it was 1 crore per year. Now we are, like I was saying, almost 8-9 crore per year, and we're growing fast. Every 6 months we double, so we'll grow it even further. But all these people together, we are able to grow so much. Now imagine that, can you join somebody like this and help them to take their practice to 1 crore per year, who have some basis? Or maybe you can also start and reach there. Maybe some of you combine and do this, right? It will be so amazing. Maybe you can build a startup in the law space, or maybe you can build a law practice itself. It's very much possible. And tomorrow I'm going to show you, okay, how to do it. What does it look like to have a 1 crore practice? What is involved? And I have built it myself, by the way. I built ClickLawyer in 7 months. I took it to 8 lakhs per month, 8 lakh revenue per month. In 7 months, I took it. First month we did 1.5 lakh. On the 7th month we did 8 lakh. Okay. And this is a workshop I want you to attend. It's LawSikho.com/corporate law workshop. Okay. This is the link of that workshop. Here is the workshop. Please register. And I'm going to tell you, okay, how to do it. What are the challenges? So it can be your own law firm. You can join somebody else's law firm and become such a super performer and such a big contributor that they make you a partner in their law firm. So you have to learn what are the pain points of such a place, right? What are the pain points of such a practice? What do they need? What do they want from the people who are coming to work there? So yes, so imagine there's a practice which is earning 5-6 lakhs per month, right? What does it take to do that? I'll give you specific ideas which you can use to build revenue. Not everybody does the same thing, it won't work, but I'll give you realistic ideas as to how you can build your revenue when you are starting a law firm or you are trying to grow your law firm. Okay, so come there tomorrow. So how many of you are going to come there tomorrow? If you're going to come there, if you are registering, say yes. How many of you are registering right now? Just say yes. If you're not registering, say no. That's okay, but I just want to know if you're coming or not. If you're not coming, just say no. I'll be very glad. If you're not coming, just want to know if you're coming or not. Okay, just say yes or no. It's like RSVP, so I can count later how many people are coming, how many are not coming. Okay, already we have over 600 registrations. So hoping to reach 2000 registrations by tomorrow. Can I request you to share this link in your friends groups, in your college groups, wherever? This is my humble request. See, I spend a lot of time with you guys every single day, right? I'm just asking you for this feedback, for this favor, that please share this in your respective college groups or friends groups, lawyers, of course. Request them to join, right? Request them to come in this session, and I worth it. I promise that it will be really worth all of your time and you'll really benefit. I want to see at least 1,000 people tomorrow in my session. So my calculation is, if we have 2,000 registrations, at least 1,000 will show up. So please help me to reach this number. So how many of you are going to help me by sharing this? Just write yes, so I know that you're going to help me. Okay, share it in WhatsApp groups of people. Okay. What is clashing, Shreya? Sorry, I didn't understand. Okay, please share it. Help us. I'll really appreciate. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So thank you, everyone. Achha, let me see. Did I miss something? Just 1 second. Okay, the WhatsApp group. So how many of you are not yet on the WhatsApp group?
A0B0FB6.
That's why Alex are making inexplicable noise. Okay. Okay, this is a chat group. If you're not on the group, please join. Okay. See, if a class is clashing, it can happen. I can't really help. You just have to either miss the class or miss this. Okay. So I don't know. If you miss the class, you can watch the recording later as usual. So it's your choice. If you can't come, that's okay. If you can come. I promise you it will be amazing. I have already made the slides. I have already planned it. I'm super excited about what's going to happen tomorrow. Okay. All right. The group is full. Oh, I'm so sorry. Let me find a group which is not full. Damn. These groups get full so quickly. Okay, 1 hour earlier there was space. Now it is so full that there is no space. Just a minute. I'm so sorry. I'll find a group that has space. I mean, the groups are filling up faster than we can fill, I think. Group 7 has space. Okay. Group 7, where is group 7? There are like 30-40 spaces, I think. Yeah? Ankuri, are you on 2 groups? How do you know there is space in 2 groups? Okay. All right. I've shared group 7. You guys can join. Okay, I'll share one more group, and 9 apparently there is space. Where is group 9? Okay. The groups fill up quickly. Yeah, there is a lot of space in group 9. Very nice. There's a lot of space in group 9. You guys can join group 9 here. So if any, group 9, there will be space. So you guys can join group 9. There is the link. Okay. So thank you guys. Join the group. We share a lot of job opportunities also in that group, internship opportunities also in those groups, and obviously my webinars, articles, and information and other Komal's and Abhyuday's articles, and which will help you, which is relevant to corporate law career, we'll share here. Okay. So are there any questions you want me to answer in tomorrow's workshop, 3-hour workshop tomorrow? Is there any questions you want me to answer? Are there any pain points that you have that you want me to address? Then please tell me that I can take it up tomorrow. Okay? Please tell me in the chat. I'm waiting for your response. What do you want me to take up tomorrow? What are your biggest pain points? Tell me. Anything you want me to address tomorrow specifically? What bothers you? What disturbs you? Client acquisition. I'll talk about client acquisition. I have made slides on client acquisition already. How you define corporate lawyer definition. In all universities, same subjects are read. There is nothing to do with what they teach you in university called corporate law. That is nonsense. That is not going to help you. Okay. You are in some other world if you think that what they are teaching in university is going to help you. Okay. In university, they will say that corporate law means company law. You read company law and that's it, right? And it's nothing. In name of M&A law, they'll teach you some sections and some case laws, which you'll never use in your life if you're in this thing, right? So it's very important. Okay, so you need to learn the actual stuff. Like if you're doing M&A work, corporate law work, you need to know how to do due diligence. They don't teach you this in college. You have to learn how to do deal structuring. They don't teach that in college. You have to learn how to do deal compliances. They don't teach them. You have to learn FDI policy, takeover code. Hardly anybody teaches these things. There is no textbook also of these things. Okay, you have to learn how to draft shareholder agreement, share purchase agreement. You have to learn how to draft. There are so many different clauses. Okay, so they won't teach you these things. I'm sorry, not going to work. You can't expect to learn this in any college. They are not teaching. This stuff is not being sold in colleges, my friends. The shop you're looking at doesn't have the kind of things you need. Okay, so if you want to learn these things, come to LawSikho or find a senior who knows this work and will be willing to give you private tuition. This is the way to learn. So a lot of people have their brother or father or brother-in-law or somebody like that who's ready to give them 5-10 hours every week to teach. You can learn from them, right? As opposed to the full-fledged diploma. No, short-term courses, not really. We can't teach you M&A law, M&A, all this work, due diligence in a short-term course. You need time to teach you all this. Okay, it's not possible to teach you in a 1 month, 3 month course. So I'm sorry, there is only a one year course. It takes time to learn this one. There are things that we can teach you in 3 months. We teach you in 3 months, if it is possible, because it is also in our interest. If it is a short course, we can charge more money, we get more students, but it doesn't work with M&A investment law. It doesn't work. Okay, you have to take time. Like it's a lot of things to learn. Just like I can't teach you real contract drafting in 1 month. They can give an introduction to contract drafting in 1 month. We have an introduction course, but to teach you to do the work well enough so that you're able to draft contracts on your own, it won't work, right? So that's what it is. All right, great guys. So if you are in LawSikho, you're in the right place if you want to build a career in corporate law. We'll guide you. We'll show you the biggest problem. We'll not only tell you, oh, there is 1.5 lakh salary. We'll tell you the problems. We'll guide you through. We'll tell you how to overcome. We'll even tell you how to build your own law firm. So don't worry. Okay. All right. So did you enjoy today's session? Did you learn something? What are you going to take away from this session? So make this habit that whenever you are attending any session, reading any book, make at least 3, 4, 5 points that you jot down, that this is my takeaway from this session. This is what I'm going to go back and implement in my life, because this is a habit which will ensure you benefit from everything that you consume. Otherwise, it is very easy to consume content and never benefit from it. Most people do that, right? Most people I have ever seen, they never actually act on stuff. So today, make a list that these are the 3, 4, 5 things I have learned, and I'm going to go and implement these things. Okay. So any question about non-NLU, you should read my book. It's called How to Perform 10x Better Than Non-NLU Students, right? I'll just give you the book. Here is the book. You can download straight and read this. Any NLU, non-NLU questions will get answered here. Okay. So you can read this book if you have questions of NLU. Rohit unknown is asking which I should take, BLLB or BBLLB. Rohit, it feels like it will make a big difference, but it will make no difference in your life. Whether you take BLLB or BBLLB, take whichever the heck one you want. It would have no relevance in future. Okay. It doesn't matter. Only in university professors think it matters. It will never matter. I don't know if it will matter if you write maybe some government exams or something, or at least if you're going to corporate law, it will not matter, right? If you want a proper counseling, then join us. We can try to help. Even if you can give us a call to one of our counselors, we can talk to you and try to help you out with your career planning, what you're going to do and what you need to read and stuff like that. Okay. All right, great. Jot down your points, takeaways before you go. Don't forget, don't just go away. Write down those points. Even if you don't tell me, and I suggest that you write it down on Twitter or LinkedIn somewhere and tag LawSikho, tag me. It will help your people who are following. It will help you also, and it will help you to build a following if you share your good insights there. I hope you do that. And take care, and definitely tell your friends about my tomorrow's workshop. It's my personal goal to have 1,000 people attending tomorrow. Okay. Would you help me to make it possible? Please do it. Okay. Please at least share it with 100 people. And if each of you share it with 100 people, I'll surely reach the numbers. Okay. Thank you very much. I thank you everyone. Hi Sandeep, good to see you here. Bye bye Pranav. Bye bye everyone. Take care.